Oh, look, my first victim. That's what I'm going to call it. On the Cricketers Network Golf Day special. It's none other than white ball legend, Martin Guptill. Gup, welcome to the Cricketers Network.
Thanks for having me, Ben.
Normally I look up everyone's statistics and give them a little bit of a thing that way, but I didn't have time because you only just turned up. So can you do it?
Come on, you should be prepared. You knew who was coming, right? You should have been prepared for it, right?
Not enough of a chance in Test cricket. That's what I'm going to say.
Well, to be fair, 47 tests, that's quite a few chances.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was as many as that. I really should have looked this up. How are you, man?
I'm good, mate, yeah.
The fans out there might not have seen that much of you in the last couple of years.
Not for a while.
Played a little bit for Auckland this year, though.
A little bit here and there, yeah.
Yeah. So where you been? Where you been plying your trade?
I've played a couple of tournaments in India the last few years, and doing a little bit here and there, helping Auckland out with a little bit of coaching on and off. And then, just sort of trying to get into a little bit of that, and I've done a little bit of commentary as well, so trying to, branch out and do a little bit more, but still in the cricket space.
So a little bit of a media family, basically. You're the cricketing,
I guess you could say, yeah.
Cricketing powerhouse family that you are.
Well, I've got a great tutor, and that Laura can help me out. So, yeah, it works pretty well.
How's it being kind of semi-retired? Does it feel, I don't know, like a relief?
Always miss the game. Always miss playing. I don't have that sort of, competitive cricket throughout the whole year now, and it is a little bit of a different change. So, but it's one I'm really, really enjoying, and having a lot more time at home with the kids has been really cool as well. They're growing up so quickly, and I miss so much during the younger years, and it's nice to be home and be a dad for a while as well.
Was that quite a gear shift for them to have you home that much?
I guess a little bit, yeah. Probably not used to it, but Laura's travelling so much with work now as well that they get a lot more time with me. So I think they're getting used to it, and it's a good fun dynamic. It just adds a few different pressures on.
Any budding skills, cricketing skills from the kids yet?
Yes and no. When they put their mind to it, they have a good go. But look, if they want to play cricket, I'll help them out. If they don't want to play, then I'm not going to force them into it. So
no, of course you wouldn't. But it's funny, isn't it? Like, I'm such a cricket fanatic, and my kids basically have gone like, well, we like your other interests, but not necessarily this one.
Not in that one.
Yeah, it's sort of. I think it's the rebellious. You got to rebel against your parents a little bit, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's talk about coaching. Had you done much of that before you? Are you just kind of easing into it? Is it something you want to do more of?
Yeah, easing into it, and definitely something I want to do more of. Just starting off with a little bit of one-on-one at the moment, which has been enjoyable. Shoulders still tacked on and held together. So no, look, I'd love to be able to help the teams out with some sort of batting coaching, fielding coaching in the years to come. So hopefully some opportunities can arise for me.
When you're coaching other players, like new players, do you see yourself in those players sometimes, and you see not only the talent, but maybe the flaws?
Oh gosh, that wouldn't want my flaws, that's for sure. It's really cool to see different players and how they go about the game and their strengths, their work-ons, all that different stuff. And I feel like I've got enough experience under my belt that I'm able to help them through those and help them get better as cricketers and and as people as well.
Now T20 was probably the format you were most successful in, and
I'd beg to differ.
Really? Okay.
I feel like one day cricket was my onion. 18 ODI hundreds and all that sort of thing.
Absolutely. I guess
I feel like that's sort of where my T20 game evolved from.
Yeah.
Learning how to construct an innings over a 50 over game. I felt like that was where I was probably best in cricket.
Okay, let me rephrase that then. It's probably been the focus of your career over the last, certainly the last part of it.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. How much is that game changing, and how rapidly is that changing?
Oh, it's there for everybody to see, isn't it? The game has changed so much. I mean, when I first started playing T20 cricket, I was probably striking around 120 and you're having a good day, but now it's really obsolete now, isn't it? I mean, the power game's just got so much, it's been concentrated on so much more, and look at the scores in the last T20 World Cup, the IPLs over the last couple of years, even all the other, even here in the Super Smash now, the scores are just, going through the roof, the end run rate's going up. but it's pretty cool to see and watch.
Yeah. Do you take any credit for that? I mean, you were one of the first guys to really go after it nearly overs.
Cricket goes in, different stages in development, doesn't it? So, my T20 game certainly developed over the latter half of my career, and my strike rate definitely went through the roof, and that came along with a lot more power hitting and that sort of thing, and now it's just gone to a whole nother level. It's not all about power hitting, you've got the scoops, your reverse sweeps, and all these different shots that I never played because I was probably too scared to try them out. But look, guys are innovating so well these days, and it's really cool to see, and it's becoming a strength of guys, and it's really hard for bowlers to bowl to. Yeah, because they can hit that ball back over their head, or they can hit it behind for 4 or 6 as well. So, what does a bowler do in that situation?
Oh, who'd be a bowler?
Exactly.
Who'd be a bowler?
Just a net, so it doesn't count.
I've got to say, every time I see a player hit the ball straight and keep their head down, I think of you. Cam Green does it.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know how much of cricket you've been watching. You've probably given yourself a little break from it.
No, I didn't realise he did that.
Yeah. That's the Martin Guptill signature, the head down.
You can take that.
Yeah. Last question is about fielding. We've talked a little bit about that on the podcast. You're one of the game's greatest fielders, and we talk about how infielding isn't so much of a focus anymore because the ball gets hit so hard and so fast. And so outfielders like Glenn Phillips seem to be kind of in the spotlight these days. Would you agree with that? Do you think just the power, as we were talking about, is so much now that infielders, unless it's going straight to you?
I guess it's probably more prevalent. That's more prevalent in T20 cricket. I think in one-day cricket through the middle overs and things like that, when it's, there's still an emphasis on sort of trying to take it as deep as possible and, utilising those last 15 overs. I think in that space, as a fielder, you can still have an impact in the ring, and I think Glenn still does a lot of infield stuff in the one-day stuff, backward point, cover to spinners, that sort of thing with wicket. He's quick enough to chase anything down, so very, very different to what I used to do back in the day.
Oh, come on. One of the fastest guys ever. Gup, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy your golf today. I imagine you're a bit more relaxed on a golf course than a cricket field.
If you're doing this during the day, I'd watch out for guys coming down the 18th here.
Oh, yeah.
If anyone has a big hook coming into the 18th green, you could be in trouble.
Well, who do you reckon's got a bad hook?
Not me, because I slice.
Great to see you, Gup. Thanks,
Cheers, mate. Cheers, Ben.
Thanks. Look what I've got now. He didn't have bacon and eggs this morning because he's sort of a bastion of health and effort and passion. It is the one and only Neil Wagner. Wags, welcome to the Cricketers Network.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Great to see you.
Good to see you too.
Now, the fans want to know what Wags has been up to. Of course, they'll know that you've been doing a lot of commentary. How have you been enjoying that?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been cheap as a change, that, and a lot to learn. I've got a lot of respect for people who do it. There's so much more that goes on behind the scenes that people don't really realise. You've got obviously an earpiece in. There's about 4 people, including producer, camera crew, everyone talking to you while you talk and think about what you want to talk. So I've got enough voices in my own head as it is, mate, to try and listen to more. But no, it's incredible. I really thoroughly enjoyed the other side of it. You think about the game differently, watch about it, a little bit differently, and trying to obviously, explain what's going on out of the middle and what guys are trying to do and trying to achieve. It's been pretty awesome to watch from afar, mate, and a nice way to stay involved in the game.
Yeah, okay. Is that sort of the only way you've been staying involved with the game? Any coaching?
No, I've tried to dip my toes into everything, to be honest.
Right.
To start the next venture, life after cricket can be quite tough when you've done it for 19 years professionally and 12 years playing. International for the Blackcaps, and all of a sudden it just stops. It is different, and it's quite tough to take that transition into life after cricket. And I've part of Coach Squad, which is sort of a bit of an app where you can sort of, order me as a coach. So I've done some private coaching in the Bay of Plenty, and then obviously the commentary sort of side of things. I'm also a player agent at the moment, looking after players and representing them. Trying to find them, opportunities overseas, but also, mentor and helping them, support them throughout, trying to, pass on a bit of my experience of 19 years professional cricket, try and, support them in a different way as well and help them out, not just on the cricketing side of things, but away from cricket as well. So, so a little bit of bits and pieces of that, and I just started a new job as a surgical rep, mate, working for a company called Alpha Medicals. So, pretty much a golf caddy to a surgeon in the sort of way that you're sort of in theatre and helping out and
You're
selling and
actually in
supplying
theatre?
tools. Yep.
You're seeing operations right in front of you.
Right in front of you. So incredible job. I was very fortunate, lucky that old mate of mine, old cricket mate, Brandon Heaney, hit me up and roped me in to come and do it, mate. I didn't think this was going to be something that's going to get me hooked. I went into the first case in theatre and I was absolutely hooked and instantly fell in love with it and really got a big passion for some learning the trade and finding some experiences and hopefully continue with this.
With that, how far away are you from sort of, giving a little bit of advice? Like, oh, do you sure you want that one? You sure you want that scalpel?
Yeah, no, there's a bit more, there needs a little bit more water to go under the bridge before I get there. But hey, I mean, I'm a month into the job and the amount I've learned in a month has blown my own mind. So it's been incredible. It's been awesome to have seen and witnessed and play a small part, I guess, in theatre, helping people out to get better. So like I said, instantly hooked. I think my injuries that I've had off late, I've had a meniscus tear, I've had a subscapularis tear and a bicep tendon tear in my shoulder, and not to say bulging disc and a few other bits and pieces went with it. Being a theatre and seeing all these other injuries around it, you sort of can relate to a few of those, and it sort of instantly got me hooked and loving the whole, job and the whole experience of it.
Yeah, imagine if someone came in and they'd taken a bouncer to the head.
Yeah, that's a little bit different. I've been a bit around that.
It could have been you.
I'll say.
It's one of the biggest changes from basically being on the road for 19 years as a professional cricketer, just being at home all that time. Do you get itchy feet? Do you get restless? I mean, clearly you've got 400 jobs.
Yeah. I've got 3 kids, mate, and they're hungry, so I've got bills to pay.
I get that.
So, and life's not getting any cheaper. So I think it's about getting things that you're passionate about and what gets you out of bed the next day. I mean, I've had 19 years living out of a suitcase and travelling the world. I really thoroughly enjoyed that, and that gave me different experiences that I felt I could take it to the next jobs and to the next ventures, which has been really helpful and supportive. And like I say, our young family now, they hate it when you go away. It's quite nice to go. I mean, I come up to Auckland for one night a week, and I've got weekends at home, which I never used to have. I potentially now can plan a bit of a Christmas or a December holiday, which for 19 years you couldn't do. So it is quite nice. It's sort of made peace of it. You can only play to that long. There was parts of me itching, going, one more, but you're just delaying the next phase, delaying the next, opportunity to try and find, that next venture. And I've tried to dip my toes into everything, like we just said. But I try to see where I can take the life skills and learnings that I've had out of 19 years of professional cricket into the next venture, and thoroughly enjoying that.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Test cricket. That was obviously the format that you were probably best known for. All the chat at the moment is about T20 cricket. We just had a T20 World Cup. The women have a T20 World Cup coming up. There's a T20 series going on against South Africa right now. There's all this talk about NZ20 and how on board the players are with that, and I think it's a wonderful thing. Where's that going to leave Test cricket in New Zealand though?
Well, I think Test cricket will still be quite strong and healthy. I think we've seen that a lot of players still show the admiration and wanting to play it. Look, there's no doubt T20 cricket is popular and it pays the bills in a big way. But you look at the Test matches that's been and what we've had and how exciting Test match cricket has been of late, and with the World Test Championship around it, it puts a lot of emphasis on it. But I think if you look at the Test series that has to come, I think all the Kiwis need to get really excited about it. Going to Australia is not an easy place to tour. I mean, we first got to go to England, which is also not an easy place to tour and play. But, being able to go play Test cricket against England, India and Australia in the next little while, that Aussie tour, man, is incredible. It's such a tough place to go and tour. And that's where you test yourself, I guess, as a cricketer the most. T20 cricket, that would never get close to it. And there's a lot of players, I think, that still have that drive and that, desire to go and play over there and test himself against the best in the toughest conditions and measure himself up that way. And I think we've got an exciting group of cricketers around at the moment who can go over there and throw some punches and hopefully get in the right result of things. But, it's a pretty exciting place, I guess, for cricket, and a lot of things happening, and it's a sport, continues to keep growing in the men and women game at the moment, which is pretty awesome to watch. From my side, I wish I was a couple of years younger, but hey, it's awesome to watch.
You don't age, Wags, I got to say. Yeah, there's something about your skin routine or something, but you don't seem to age.
A couple of golf days in the sun now, mate, and a few days of theatre, I reckon, adds to it. And 3 kids, mate.
3 kids, yeah.
A couple of wrinkles. And
3 kids under 10?
Under 6, so
Under
yeah,
6,
that's full
yeah.
on, mate. Yeah, full on.
Well, you're wearing it well. Do you think, though, in the Test game we will see less of those nations you've mentioned, the sort of big three? Do you think we'll see less of the Windies and Sri Lanka and Pakistan?
I hope not. I think they've got the desire still to play too, and I hope it's not the case. There's a worry about teams like West Indies, sort of fading away, and there's obviously been some cases where guys pick the T20 route quite early, but hopefully there's a way with the World Test Championship and getting, I guess, a way where the ICC can pipe in to pay players, I guess, the same amount of match fees, I guess, potentially over a period of 4 Test match, with the World Test Championship being so big. And we've seen it. I mean, Lords has backed out with the South Africa-Australia Test match. I mean, the previous year as well. It's made for some really exciting Test match. I was glued to my seat watching those finals played, and it makes for really exciting Test matches. So, hey, the purists out there, and there's still a lot of them, want to watch that, and hopefully it continues. And hopefully the group, I mean, speaking to a lot of young guys in the 19s coming through, they want to play Test cricket for New Zealand. So that's something that's pretty awesome to hear, and long may it continue, because I think there's still place for all 3 formats in this game, but especially for I like everything T20 and Test matches is sort of the one to keep, I guess, a hold on and keep growing.
Now, we do a longer segment. When you come back on the podcast and we get you in the studio, we'll do a segment.
Proper chat, eh?
Yeah, we'll do a segment called Would You Rather. And one of the scenarios in the Would You Rather is, would you rather be strangled down the leg side or run out at the bowler's end, with a deflection, right?
Yeah.
Now, don't answer that, because quite often it comes down that the strangled down leg side is a bad way to get out, particularly if you're Jimmy Anderson and you lose a Test match. Now,
Go.
did you?
Yeah, I kind of, when you said strangle that leg, I was like, oh, he's going to bring it up, isn't he?
Well, mate, it's unbelievable. You won the Test match for your country and one of the best Test matches ever.
He's middled the down leg to
but
gloves.
was that a good ball?
Oh,
And did it go where you wanted it to go?
I actually, to be honest, I couldn't get any higher because of the ball before that, which probably should have been wider. But fair play to the umpires. There was a few doing that Test match when that height over the head, and they sort of let it go because of the wicket. And hey, it takes a brave umpire to sort of let that one go in the situation of the game. So I was lucky, and I knew if I flirted with one a little bit higher, then that was going to get called definitely. So I couldn't get any higher. I didn't want to go to Tommy Blundell's safe hands diving across, which made for a really good huddle and hug and really good celebrations, but I was trying to get that leg slip and the lead man around the corner into play, and fair to say a couple of balls before that Jimmy pumped him through Kane's legs, which I didn't expect, and so I knew there was a bit of extra effort and a bit of extra grunt into that one to make sure he doesn't hit it through there again, and hence the reason it was probably a little bit lower, and found the middle of his bat straight to Tommy's gloves, which I was obviously stoked at. You could see in the celebrations, and I think I've got a vein still popping around here somewhere with that.
It was the best moment. Yeah, but was it a little more leg side than you were hoping?
A fraction, but I knew, hey, I need to make sure I get those 2 fielders into play.
Right.
Otherwise, if they get 1 run, obviously the Test match is gone. So, hey, sometimes you bowl the perfect ball and you don't get a wicket, and sometimes you bowl like one like that, and you do, and that's the beauty of this game sometimes. And same with golf. So might see some of that out there today.
Yeah, I hope you don't. I hope your hook is better. I don't know much about golf. I was going to try and make it. Hope your hook is better than Jimmy Anderson's, but you don't want a hook in golf. So I'll stop talking about golf. Go well today, Wex. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it, mate.
Sitting very patiently after a few technical issues. It's only the New Zealand white ball captain, Mitch Santner. Welcome to the Cricketers Net. Welcome back to the Cricketers Network, and welcome back to New Zealand. It's quite a warm day here, but I'm going to still say a few degrees cooler than India.
Yeah. Nah, good to be back, obviously. Great stint for 2 months in India for the boys, and obviously proud to get as far as we did, but nice to be back in New Zealand and in my happy place here, aren't I?
You are, yes. So you are, for those who don't know, an incredible golfer. How much more relaxed are you right now than, say, last night just before you're walking on to lead your country against South Africa?
Still pretty relaxed last night, but I was almost, trying to get through the night so we could switch on to today and play golf. But yeah, it was nice bounce back for the boys last night. South Africa, a great team, and nice to play at home in front of a few fans, but today's where it really happens on the course.
Of course. Now, as a spinner, you've had, 2 months bowling in India and Sri Lanka, where you're just about to get attacked by a wasp. where the ball turns, but late in the summer here in New Zealand, the ball also seems to be turning. Do you even know yourself bowling on a spinning pitch in New Zealand?
Nah, we don't get them often, but I had a little word to the ground in the first 2 games to
You
see
did?
if we could get it to spin. But yeah, it was nice to see it spinning. Sri Lanka was nice. India doesn't really do much for anything apart from batters. But
True.
yeah, talked to KJ last night. Just said leave a little bit of grass so it nips and can spin. So hopefully it's the same at Eden Park.
It's nice, yeah. Like, so last night we saw the kind of classic Blackcaps post a decent score and then defend their face off. That seemed to be the the strategy all through the World Cup. Why do you think that is our strategy more than trying to blast 260 in the first innings?
Yeah, I think India flat wickets, they tend to have no grass and are really hard. So that's kind of the method is score as much as you can and try to defend it. We've seen here, whether it's the start or the end of the summer, a bit more grass kind of does a little bit. So I think, for us to, again, it did a little bit in the first game at the Mount and we probably went a little bit hard and lost a few poles. But last night we kind of went back to the blueprint and tried to get to a decent score and defend it. And I guess, Lockie and the seamers did a great job and I can kind of just float in at the end and throw a couple up, which is nice.
It is, isn't it? A few players being rested for this series. Pretty exciting new talent on display last night.
Yeah, I think with the schedule at the moment and, obviously post-World Cup, obviously the come down of that and, a few guys shooting off the IPL soon. So it gives different guys a look, which is nice. It means builds depth for us. We've seen it, guys stepping up at different stages throughout the summer, which has been cool to see. And again, Clarkie getting a go last night and whacking a few at the end. So in terms of the depth at the moment, especially in white ball, it's good to see.
It is. It was a long stint in India, as you say, 2 months. And as leader, how much do you kind of take on the responsibility of keeping the vibe high, keeping the morale high?
Yeah, I guess it's, I think being away from home, it's always a challenge. I think, we've implicated a few things just to make sure the guys get around each other. And one's probably a coffee machine in a team room. It's a bit of a hub for boys to just go and talk and get guys out of their rooms, which was nice. And there's a few, kind of team stuff along the way. And, we had the little break in Sri Lanka, which was nice, but a change of scenery. And then back to the World Cup. And I guess when you're winning, it's always a little bit easier.
It is, yeah. I suppose the culture's changed a little bit, hasn't it, in terms of professional cricket, and a lot of that bonding used to happen over, 3 dozen beers. Yeah. After the game, you just can't really do that with the schedule and the way that you guys tend to look after your body and stuff now. So it's the coffee machine now.
Just long blacks, that. But yeah, I think that you got the kind of the new school and the old school. There's still a few of us floating around that want a few beers after games. And there's guys who want to look after their bodies, which is also fine. But yeah, kind of me and Nish and a few of the other boys try to send it a little bit more. But again, you kind of pick your moments if you do have a few days in between. There's always nothing better than a post-match beer after a win, though. No
doubt. Also, I guess in India, you can't really hit the bars, can you? Because you'd just be mobbed.
The only bar you can really hit is the hotel bar,
yeah.
Which is, a little bit different. So, which is nice. It's just nice to get, everyone together, whether it is over a beer or a Diet Coke. And, that's where the chats and the cricket chats are at their best.
Yeah, I've talked to retired players, in fact, on this very podcast, I've talked to Gup and Wags, and everybody says the thing they miss the most, it's not the cricket, it's the camaraderie. So, I'm always interested to know how you just keep that going other than just making sure you meet and not just staying in your rooms all the time, right?
Yeah, I think it's, I think guys are, whether it's performance or not, guys are at different stages and, so I think it's easy for us to just try, get everyone out of their room and, if it can be the worst place at times. You've been stuck in your room, all you want to think about is cricket. And I think, especially in a World Cup where you've got to move on pretty quickly and you're playing a different team where, a bilateral, you can kind of start to work things out and work out opposition, but you've got to move on pretty quickly because you've got a new team. So, yeah, whatever it is, I think, that's nice. The coffees is nice during the day and, you got night games, so you're doing not much till 5, aren't you? So,
yeah.
You can try and get around each other and try play a bit of golf as well, which is good. And then, bit of paddle. So there's always stuff for guys to do, and which is nice.
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about the final because it was it was such an amazing feat that you even got there. But there were times in that game where it looked like we were about to pull it back. There was the niches over, I think, towards the end of their innings, and really looked like we were about to pull it back. And there were even times in the batting, where we're kind of in the ascendancy. What do you reckon were a couple of key moments where, I don't know, the game slipped away?
Yeah, I guess it's especially now that we've been home and been able to reflect a bit more on what kind of happened over there. And like you said, it was still a great effort from the boys to get where we did. And I think, the power play with the ball, it's obviously the most challenging time to bowl. And they're, I guess they kind of set their team up to play on flat wickets all the time and just do that to any bowling attack. And they did it again, which was, it's tough to stop at times. So, I guess it's for us reflecting is, can we find different ways of trying to pull them back at times? And like you said, there was periods where, we would have taken kind of 230 on a very flat wicket. And
I thought when Nish took those 3 wickets, I was like, we can keep it under 240 here. We're in this.
Yeah, and that was always the chat as we're going, it looked like they were flying, obviously they were, but, different periods of the game, can you pull them back and stay in it? And the boys were good to, and then, 250 is always going to be a bit of a challenge on a flat one, but again, it's not, out of the realms these days on flat wickets and small grounds, so, and then, it's always a challenge when you're chasing a score like that, is you have to go hard but try not to lose wickets, and that's always the coach's classic.
Everything has to go right.
Hit sixes but don't get out. So
yeah. Oh, that was the weirdest thing, was when there was a 4 hit, there was like no cheer, even for India.
Yeah, not enough.
Yeah. So,
we want more.
That must have been. It's weirdly creepy because the stadium is like silent when you hit a 6. Well, not you particularly, but when the opposition, maybe you particularly. No, when the opposition hits a 6, it must be an eerie thing.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, that's why we play the game, is to play in front of fans, and 120, 130,000 in the final. But it was quite. I guess that was our thing. Was like, can we make the crowd silent? Because it means we're actually on top, or we're actually doing well. You can definitely hear when it's the opposite. That's for sure.
That's good. Yeah. Make the crowd silent, then you know what you're doing well. Mitch, thanks so much. Enjoy your golf today.
Yeah,
it's a day off.
How good.
And you're still doing interviews. Sorry.
Out. Yeah, not really a day off, is it?
Never is when you're the captain, mate. Hey, thanks for joining us. Cheers.
Thanks, Simon.
Brand new black cap, and illustrious member of the Wellington. I was about to say Blaze. Sorry, the Wellington Firebirds. They are illustrious.
Yeah.
They keep winning. It is Nick Kelly. Welcome to the Cricketers Network.
Cheers, thanks for having me. Beautiful setting today.
It is a beautiful setting. Are you much of a golfer?
I like to think I am.
Yeah.
Currently handicaps around a 10, so
Okay.
sort of in the range of like, could be high 70s, but also could be like high 90s. So
And do you respect Mitch Santner more as a cricketer or a golfer?
in the last few years, his cricket's been not too bad, so it's probably pretty even. Before that, his golf was far superior. Nah, he's pretty handy at both.
You've come back into the international side after they've come back from overseas, and how's that been?
Yeah, it's been awesome. Obviously, pretty exciting. Watching the boys go and do their thing over there. To make a final, I think we're all pretty proud of them. And I got the call up while the boys are over there. So, I think a few boys are resting, a few boys off to earn some cash and some leagues, and gives guys like myself an opportunity, which is nice.
And got a few away last night. It was an excellent win. It must have felt good to get a few out of the middle of the bat.
Yeah, it was good. That first game, it was a tough wicket, but you're out there and you just want to get off the mark and get going. It was nice to get a few away. Nice to get a bit of confidence that you can score some runs at this level, and then
that first wicket looked like you were batting in mud, really.
Yeah. You sort of go out and you're like, debut. You're like a little bit heightened, a little bit, what's going on, and then you're walking off and you're like, oh, that was a pretty good nut, and then all out for 90. So it all happened quick, but
does that soften the blow somewhat when you're like, oh, actually no one could score runs?
you're looking around, you're like, well, I'm not the only one here, so not too bad.
Yeah, when you're like, oh, Devon Conway couldn't score runs either. Actually, he's a Wellington teammate of yours. Your teammates speak very highly of you. I think mostly in terms of vibe. You bring the great vibe to the to a team. Is that something you're hoping to implement as you get more secured into the Blackcaps?
That's nice. Yeah, I think, when you get a little bit older, you realise that team culture is pretty important. You're going to win some games and you're going to lose some games. So staying pretty level and, bringing good energy and just being a good bugger is most important, I think. And I think we're pretty lucky in Wellington. We've got a great group of guys, and it's nice when you come into the Blackcaps environment to have some familiar faces.
Yeah. It seems there's a lot of bonding around coffee these days. And now, as Wellingtonians, do you feel like you know more about coffee than the others?
Yeah, it feels like there is a bit of snobbiness around there.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to have their own machine now and their own, latte art skills, and it's almost a little bit of a competition on tour, which is quite nice.
Could be worse.
Could be a lot worse, yeah.
Yeah, the league boys tend to all think they're barbers.
Yeah.
Did you know that? They all give each other haircuts. I don't know if that's happening in cricket, is it?
Not quite. I haven't spent too much time, in too many of the leagues, so I haven't had to lean on one of the boys for a haircut yet. But baristaing and barbering is one of those skills that on tour I think you sort of fine tune. So boys are, widening their skills.
Yeah, nice. They should have those ridiculous things they had at the bottom of the World Cup for every player, like
attributes. And that game
strength. They should have vibe.
Yeah, vibe.
Vibe should have. You'd have scored high on vibe.
Yeah.
Just from my own experience in the last 5 minutes.
Batting 58, vibes like 90 odd.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, thanks very much for talking to us. I hope we'll have you back on at some other point. We had your teammates Tim and Pete Younghusband on for like almost an hour.
Yeah.
So
That must have been tough.
they spoke very highly of you, actually.
Oh, really?
You should.
No, I did hear that, and I wasn't sure if it was sarcasm or not. They're yet to.
Let's ask him. Hey Tim, when you spoke highly of Nick on the podcast, was that sarcasm?
Surely sarcasm.
No, it was sarcasm.
Yeah, I thought so. That's all right.
Oh, well.
You get that, eh?
Well, you got him back now.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
No, cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.